Hello everyone, I am SHEETAL, roll number 18/0758. I'm from Shyama Prasad Mukharji College for Women, University of Delhi. Today I'm going to present a topic which we all are very much familiar with because we all are studying about that topic since 5th standard. And the name of the topic is Powers and Functions of People's Representatives at Different Levels of Government. India is the largest democracy having second largest population in the world. So it is not possible for single person to govern the whole nation. That is why the whole Indian government is divided into different levels of government, where in each level there are many ministers who are responsible to look after people. Having many ministers from villages to the whole nation make it easier to run the country which is this larger. As we have discussed earlier that India is not run by single person. There are many people who are involved in it. We will discuss about those people in this presentation, but before that let's discuss about the three levels of governance. Here are the three tiers of governance. At the very apex there is union government, after that state government, then local government. Local government is of two types, municipality and panchayat. When local governance takes place in urban areas, there we call municipality, and when the same thing takes place in rural areas, there we call that panchayat. Here is small explanation of the three tiers of government. The very first is union government. It is the government for the entire nation. It rules over the entire nation. Its jurisdiction of this government is that entire nation is responsible for the whole nation. It works for the subjects included in the union list. Next is state government. It rules at the state level. This tier of government comes under the central government. They work for the subjects included in the state list. In India, different states enjoy different powers because every state has different population. Next is local government. This tier of government comes under the state level. This government rules at rural, village or municipality level and is responsible for its governance. It helps state government in its functioning. It generally helps in construction and maintenance of various public services. Now Parliament. There are two houses in Parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Let's have a brief discussion over it. Lok Sabha is composed of people chosen by direct elections. We are in a democratic nation. We have different political rights in which right to vote is one of them. So we use them to choose our representatives. There are 552 members in the Lok Sabha, out of which 530 members are to represent state, 20 members to represent unity, 2 members to be nominated by president from Anglo-Indian community. Then Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha consists of 250 members, 238 for states and union territories, 12 members nominated by the president. Rajya Sabha is a permanent body and is not subjected to dissolution. However, 13 members retire every second year and are replaced by newly elected members. Each member is elected for the term of 6 years. Now, President of India. The President is the head of the Indian state. He is the first citizen of India and acts as a symbol of unity, integrity and solidarity of the nation. He performs certain functions. He is the head of the Union Executive. He exercises executive powers entitled to declare any war. He is the Supreme Commander of Indian Armed Force. He appoints governors of states, judges of high courts and supreme courts. He appoints Auditor General. He appoints Prime Minister and other ministers. He appoints other higher officials such as election commissions. With this, he has certain powers. Those are legislative powers, which he uses law-making process. Financial powers in financial process. Emergency power, he can put emergency. Military and diplomatic power, he is the Supreme Commander of Indian Armed Force, so he has military powers and judicial powers. He can punish any person if found guilty. Next is Prime Minister of India. He is the most important political institution in India. President appoints the Prime Minister. Prime Minister does not have a fixed tenure. He enjoys certain powers and that are he chairs cabinet ministers. He coordinates the work of different departments. His decisions are final in the case disagreements arise between departments. He exercises the general supervision of different ministers. All ministers work under his leadership. He has certain functions and those are elected head of the country. He is the leader of the majority party. He link president, people and parliament. He advises and informs president. He selects council of minister. He distributes portfolios. He expand or demands resignation. He monitors the workings. The Vice President of India. After the President, it is the highest dignitary of India. The powers of Vice President of India are he regulates proceeding and debates of the House, he decides the order of speech, he decides the admissibility of resolutions or questions, he adjourns or suspends the business of the House, he gives directions to the chairman of various committees. He has certain functions and those are no special function. He doesn't have any special function. He acts as ex officio chairman of Council of States, that is Rajya Sabha. He takes over absence of president. The Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers is formed as soon as the Prime Minister is sworn in. The Council of Ministers is collectively responsible for the House of the People, that is Lok Sabha. Powers and functions are, the main function of the Council of Ministers is to aid and advise the President. The Council of Ministers determines the legislative program of the Union and uses its initiative in the introduction and passage of government legislation. The Council of Ministers prepare the budget of the Union government and moves demand for grant. The foreign policy of India is formulated by the Council of Ministers and the emergency powers of President are mostly exercised by the ministers. Here are the Chief Ministers of States in India. Their powers and functions are, the Chief Minister holds a pivotal position in the workings of the state government. He has enormous powers and vast responsibilities. The Chief Minister is the leader of the House. His work to aid and advise the governor. The Chief Minister is at the head of the Council of Ministers. He forms the ministry. He can remove the ministers. The Chief Minister presides over the meetings. He coordinates the workings of different departments. The Governor of India. The Governor under Indian Constitution is the head of the state executive. As a nominal executive, he enjoys the same position in the state as the President enjoys in the center. Powers and functions are, the Governor is the constitutional head of the state and his position is in the state is the same which is that of the President in the center. Governor generally acts on the advice of the Council of Ministers. He has certain powers, executive, legislative, financial and judicial powers. The judges of the Supreme Court. Supreme Court of India is the apex judicial authority in India. Under Article 141, it has been stated that the decision of the Supreme Court is binding upon all other courts. Powers and functions are, Supreme Court is the judicial authority of the country. It protects the Constitution and enlightens us with the provision of Constitution. The Supreme Court has the power to appoint its officers and servants. Supreme Court under Article 129 has the power to punish a person if found guilty on contempt of the court. Here are members of Legislative Assembly. Every 5-year election is announced for State Legislative Assembly. Political parties nominate their people for each constituency. All members of the State Legislative Assembly are elected on the basis of adult franchise and one member is elected from one constituency. A member of Legislative Assembly is a representative head of the voters of an electoral district to the legislature of the state in the Indian system of government. Here was the end of my presentation. I hope it was quite knowledgeable and informative for you. Thank you so much.